leaps and bounds in it, and this stuff's just going to keep going and going and going and accelerate. Uh, Now, I have a couple of concepts. Actually, I have to talk to Jarvis offline when hopefully he'll jump on today. I haven't heard from him today. Uh, but if he jumps on, I'm going to talk to him offline because I have a couple of ideas for his electorates. And I think I might have stumbled on something that's very, very interesting. There's another headline here. They're saying now there could be had to do. Remember the big press release about the pyramids? Well, apparently they're saying there might be a lost city underneath the pyramid. So that sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, see, even the Italians, they're working on a new battery right now. A lot of people are jumping on board with these sodium batteries, and the Italian startup just released a 9.8 kilowatt hour sodium battery for residential use, like off the grid homes and that. So it seems like there's a lot of people gravitating towards the sodium type battery and getting away from the lithium. So that's, yeah. Japan has found the holy grail of electrolysis.
Oh, by the way, China, they found thorium, so they have the equivalent of 60,000 years of energy to feed their whole country.
You know what? That's a good point. Thorium reactors, you can make a lot of them. There's no nuclear hazard with a thorium reactor. There's no nuclear waste. Why aren't they building these? Why aren't they doing this?
Well, they're doing. They will do it in China.
Well, the whole world should be doing it. If
thorium but we're in the Western world, the politicians lead the show. So
yeah, all the dumbasses. You see that? We have all the dumbasses here in North America, and then all the smart people are in Europe and China and Japan. We need some more smart people. We got to get rid of the dumbasses.
Yeah.
It's not about smart or dumb. They have higher ethics when it comes to environmental stuff and things like that. Go ahead.
Speaking of dumbasses, Mark Carney is trying to implement by 2032 that it'll be illegal to buy a gas-powered car.
Yeah, I know.
That friggin' moron. What a moron.
Know. He's 10. Trudeau times 10,
Oh, God. Like, I'm watching, like from our legislature, they have the C-SPAN, and you can see what's going on in the House. So this was in the provincial government, and the Conservative Party, they were just ripping in. Like, what is this guy thinking? Like, you're going to take control of what they're able to purchase now. At least give them a choice, like what we have right now.
Yeah, I know.
You buy hybrid or gas or electric.
And after that, he calls Trump a dictator. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's pretty much doing everything that he says he is.
Yeah, I know.
Or accuses other people of being.
The other thing, did you know that he's gonna do countermeasure for the tariff? So he's kind of fighting Trump. I mean, Trump just said it. Canada is going to go bankrupt pretty soon.
Yeah, I know. There's Jarvis. He just sent me a message.
Phil, if you sell your thing, you're going to have trillions of dollars. So, yeah, I mean, Canada's still going to be rich.
No, but I have a company in the U.S., so it's all the money will stay in the U.S. So I'm going to move out of here anyway, so I'm not going to stay here.
Yeah, you're going to let me sink with the ship, right? You're going to... Philip's going to go, AWOL on me.
I'll bring you guys. It's pretty easy.
Well, at least if the ship is sinking and you're safe, please send me a life raft.
Sorry?
Send me a life raft so
Yeah,
I have
yeah, yeah.
something to
Of course.
float on so I don't sink with the ship.
Of course. The
Yeah.
people people I respect I will save them from extinction.
Lance says you will wear nothing and you will be happy. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah. And then all the stuff going in the Middle East right now. Oh man, the last thing America needs right now is another war. Oh my god. Like if you really want to kill your economy and oh my god, these politicians are psychopaths. Those guys are giving me headaches.
They all think for themselves, you know. It's like
Yeah, it's all political. It's all money grabbing and territory takeovers and battle for the resources. Because the only reason why people are dumping money into Ukraine is they want a piece of those resources after the war's over. They don't care about the people at all, at all.
yeah.
So, all right, Mr. Bernie, are you there? There he is.
Yo, Bernie.
How's the devil?
Hey, Brittany.
Bernie got multiple devils to deal with. This one and the Bigfoot also, and so on. And now
he's a witch hunter now. Yeah, we're just talking about the new battery tech coming out of China right now. They just released a solid state EV battery.
I know. Every day it's something new. I get the same updates, and it's just what the? They're so far ahead of us.
Oh yeah, big time.
And yes, the devil is in the army because the army is controlled, or the military is controlled by the devil. And yeah, it's
well, this new battery's got 1,200
more and more wars until we're all dead. That's what the military wants.
1,200 miles on this new battery.
The best way to prevent war is through deterrence. It's to show off.
Yeah, you say that, and then look at the world that we're in today. It's just propaganda. We're all gonna die. That's my 2 bits. But I'll be right back.
Okay. In and out.
Yeah, he just comes in, says we're all gonna die, and then he just leaves like great.
Well, it's like that restaurant that you have in the US called In and Out. That's what Bernie just did. In and Out.
Yeah, the In and Out is pretty good, by the way, man.
I know, I've been there. I know, I was
have
there.
one close to our pretty good.
Yeah, there's one in there's a few in California, and I was at one of them.
Yeah.
You want to go to In and Out? I'm like, In and Out. That sounds like a bowel movement.
Yeah.
He goes, well, maybe that's the effects afterwards. It's a restaurant. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's by the way, it's one of the cleanest fast food restaurants, like compared to all others. Like burger places, like very. Like.
Are there some in Texas?
Yeah, I have one maybe a few miles away from my house.
Oh, nice. Mm. I thought it was only California.
No, we have one here, but I've only seen one in all like in Texas. At least where I drive, I haven't seen another one.
Yeah.
Huh. Get this! I'm just reading some history news. Processors in 1997 had only 128 megs of RAM. In 1997, that's crazy.
Is it me or the sound is very low? Can you repeat?
Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Is that hold on. Let's check.
I need to buy new headphones.
volume. My volume seems to be all right. Okay, change that. Stereo audio. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, everything seems all right on my side. I can hear you guys just fine.
How about me?
Okay.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
hear you
fine.
good, but just Mike, his voice is kind of a background noise, you know?
Okay.
Do you have a TV or something on?
No, oh, hold on. Shut that off. All right, is that a little better?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. It says my settings for my audio are fine. Speaker, microphone, speaker. Yeah, it seems all right. My volumes are up.
Okay, so I guess it's me and my little earphones I need to change for headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, my volume seems to be fine. That's weird. Okay, well, maybe I'll do hand signs if I have to.
Yeah.
Some other headlines that got coming up here.
Oh yeah, the other thing I'm gonna I said the three big technology I want to share with the Navy, but there's also faster than light communication, like I was talking about last week. I think I didn't test it yet, but I think it's pretty easy to achieve um, through destructive interference.
Right.
So anyway, it's kind of public. It's not secret, but you still need the equipment to detangle it, to decrypt the dark photons. Anyway, for those who know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about like neutrinos a lot lately. There was a guy that made this device years ago. I think I'm trying to remember the guy's name. See if I can find it. But he had these two rods side by side. And he said in one side it has 72 different elements, and then the other rod has 73 different elements. And they're just sitting side by side. And he would put a light to it, and it would produce over 20 watts.
oh yeah.
I don't know. When I'm looking at it, I'm going, no, this has got to be a scam, right?
Oh, by the way, I saw that 6 years ago they were talking about the muon experiment,
Yeah.
the muons that were defying the standard model and all that. Sometimes physicists they create hypes like that, and then I saw this week that it turns out the muon experiment was just they did not measure it correctly, so it was all a big hype. You know, a big hype that lasted 6 years, probably to get money from grants and stuff like that. They do that like every once in a while. You know, they come up. Oh, we measure faster than light neutrinos, or the muons are breaking the standard model.
Right.
And then a couple of years after, they figured that they did not measure the experiment correctly. They do that all the time just to get grants money.
Yeah. They're saying China just made a new breakthrough in a heat barrier for hypersonic missiles and planes. So they're coming up with new shielding. I think the hypersonic missiles is going to be a big thing. I think they're going to try to stay away from the nuclear stuff, and they're going to focus their science on these hypersonic missiles. And,
Well, just the hypersonic missiles makes as much as damage as a nuke these days.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a hypersonic missile that is a nuke?
Yeah, it's kind of redundant because the amount of kinetic energy that thing possesses when it hits, like the ones that Russia had, the Rushnik hypersonic missile, it doesn't have a warhead. It is all based on the kinetic energy that
Yeah,
thing generates when it impacts. So you don't need a warhead on those things. It's the sheer
yeah.
speed of it. So
And
But
by the way, Trump is talking about the Golden Dome to protect North America from all
yeah,
these types of missiles.
yeah,
But I mean, we need it right now. We don't need it in 10 years, you know.
yeah, yeah. Kind of late now.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
kind of late.
The Third World War already started, actually. So
Yeah. Well, waiting for the U.S. to jump into that fight. That should be interesting. I don't think the states wants to. If they're smart, they won't.
no, I don't think the United States can afford another open front and funding another war or being
Yeah.
part of one. I don't think it won't sit well with Congress or Senate anymore.
Yeah.
Anything like that, yeah. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I can't help myself and not to think that there's still hidden hands in this what's happening right now. Whether we like it or not, but I have that
Hmm.
gut feeling. The money side is still involved, and
Of course,
and the politics are pretending like, oh, we're not going to do anything.
it's controlling the global oil market. They don't want
Mhm.
the Middle East to have a control over the global oil market. They keep them suppressed and kept them pushed down, and then OPEC and all their partners can control uh, the money as far as uh, the petroleum business, right?
Yeah.
did you know? Did you know also the riots in L.A., Chicago, and New York? They're
Yeah,
funded by China, actually.
Soros? Well,
China,
Soros in China.
Yeah,
Soros in China. Yep,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Just follow the money trail, and they'll show you who the culprits are.
yeah. Because
So,
they come rioting, and they all fully well equipped. You know,
mhm.
they already have all the necessary equipment.
Yeah, they
and
arrested a few people that were handing the riot gear out and stuff.
yeah, I'm just gonna scoot out for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
All right, then. Well, on that case, Bill, tell us more on how you sold your soul to the Navy and what they're going to be able to do to defend America now that they've entered World War III any day by attacking Iran.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a whore, actually. You know.
Well, are you selling your soul to Bibi Lying, aka Babylon? I don't know. But it's like we want peace through no war.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but the problem with uh, Iran is Obama gave them billions of dollars in cash a couple of years ago when he was in power by plane. Now they were able to fund their nuclear programs. They pretend they don't, but they just blew up a couple of power stations, and they were very active.
Well, yeah, it's because they've never gone to the 90% enrichment, though. They're not after a bomb. They use the 60% enrichment to be able to get the isotopes for their hospitals for the what's the device called? I forget what the it's not the X-ray. It's one of the scans that they do, but they have to put the isotopes in you to be able to then see how the blood flows and stuff like that.
Are you talking about
And
a CT scan?
it could be, but
Okay.
yeah, it's like they've held off of
Well,
going full enrichment. You can see videos from 30 years ago of Bibi Netanyahu being like, "Oh, look, they're 3 months away from getting the 90%," and it's like, yeah, they still haven't gone for 90%. And Obama was giving the money because they had agreed and were being inspected by the inspectors to make sure that they weren't getting that 90% enrichment. That was the whole thing, was they were getting rewarded for being open and clearly not going for weapons. But let's not go full politics. Gerald, do you want to join? You said you were going to join this week, Gerald. Gerald, got to
Yeah,
join.
Gerald,
Save
do
the
not
world,
betray
Gerald.
us.
Save the world, because it's losing its mind.
Yeah. No, I'm not pro-war at all. I'm all for the defensive side. Everything I work on has to
All
do
right, I
with
will email you the
defense.
link right now, Gerald and Jarvis.
And it's either that or it's either that and I make money, or I stay here and I get my ideas stolen left and right. So might as well make money, you know.
I'm
Before
sick
you,
of my shit getting stolen and not making no money. So sign me up. All right, how do I sell my soul? Let's get paid before the world ends.
Exactly. Yeah, that's you need money to. I saw your post about the.
When we all get nuclear fried and are dead, that money's gonna do us so much good.
Bernie, if anything, you're one of the safest like places on earth. You
Are
know.
you kidding me? Canada's fucked. Like the
No,
nukes
man, you're in the
fly
north.
over the Arctic and then over Canada. And if you see how Israel shoots down the missiles over Iraq and Jordan, that's Canada to the US. So, and those missiles are going to have nukes on them. So I'm going to be like the first to go. So, yeah, that's kind of why I'm tripping.
No, but they could blow up Canada as a warning to scare US. You know.
Exactly. I'm the sacrificial lamb here.
So you guys are like the collateral damage. You know?
Exactly. Canada. Collateral damage Canada. Oh, well, Carney's gone. No big deal. Hey, we got Jay.
Hey, Gerald. The voice of God.
War sucks. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Drew.
Hey,
That's
Gerald.
you, brother. Good to hear you. We love
Yeah.
Gerald.
I'm alive.
You've been missing in action, Gerald.
Yeah, Action Jackson. You guys remember that movie?
I do.
That was old. That's an old movie. Remember he's talking about what was in the jar? Yeah, I think what's going on in the world, I think the States might get their in the jar. We got to be careful on that one, guys. I'm telling you. What's going on is crazy. And it's way deeper than you think. You think that those things going through the air super fast with the big is what's really going on? No, this is a fight for the scalar technology, you guys. Think about it. All the physicists in the world right now are concentrating on what? The ether, right? And how to tap the ether, how to create scalar waves in order to collect the energy after the scalar waves, in order to, they want to control gravity waves and this, that, and the other. I'm telling you, they've done this for so long, it's insane. But now, because of the people that are running the stuff behind the scenes, and you know that little handshake and wink of an eye when they make deals going on, those deals have brought us to this situation where one group of people's jealous because that group of people has it, and that group of people has it, and I don't have it, and I want it. So it's just a big what it's about,
A vicious circle.
You know?
A vicious circle.
And ultimately you have to question, okay? Because it's going on everywhere around the world. The whole immigration thing, I don't know if I should say that or not, but the whole all around the world, all this stuff.
The refugee from the
so
war,
the whole refugee movement, we'll say, because it's happening everywhere. It makes one wonder what's
especially makes one wonder, like myself, who read Morals and Dogma when I was a Mason for 1 year. I never made it past the first degree, never got behind the locked doors, but I did get into their library. I did read Morals and Dogma, and in it there is a chapter that states World War One is to get rid of the monarchies, World War II is to establish capitalism versus communism, and 100 years later is World War III, where they pit the Muslims against the Hebrews and the Christians.
And the Christians.
Oh,
and
wow. What do we see today?
the Western world and Russia against themselves, the Ukraine. This has all been written. This is just part of the whole game. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta say this, okay? I got respect for Bob Grenier and the work that he's put out. But do you guys remember the YouTube purge back in, what was it, 2016 or so? Somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember. So
I
before
definitely
that
do.
purge, everybody that was on YouTube would consistently talk about how you don't do business with the Freemasons. They're very tricky. They always got plans going on behind the scenes. And whether you like it or not, they're always benefiting themselves and their group first, which is fine. You know, people are people. But right after the YouTube purge, everybody was promoting Freemasons and those that are working with Freemasons. And one in particular individual that I've just mentioned loves Freemasons. In fact, gets half their information from him, but doesn't tell you that. And it makes one wonder. The purge that occurred and now the science that's coming out, was it like found by a whole bunch of free energy gurus that literally it became so intense and the public was learning about it and everybody was starting to build them? They did the big purge, so to speak. Yeah. Now it's being promoted by a group that can control it.
Yeah.
That has the way of making rules for it. Make no mistake, you guys. They're literally making laws and rules so that you can't use the ether. That's why they keep saying, oh, it could crack the world in half. Oh, we're all going to die. It's just a bunch of propaganda.
Yeah.
I've been using the ether since, oh my gosh, 2008, 2009. I'm trying to get this out since then. So it just makes one wonder, what's really going on behind the scenes? The scientific community that was supposed to promote and put those out there that are actually working on this stuff isn't doing a good job of it. In fact, there are groups in the scientific community that are collecting information and building businesses on the information they're collecting. And they're using information coming from Bill, from Mike, even from Bernie. No offense, Bernie. I mean, like, even from you, but you know what I mean, right? So
I know. I don't put out a lot of my actual information.
But when you put it out, people
reason.
Listen because what you're talking about is what Moses knew, what the pharaohs knew back in the day of old about manna, Mifket, white philosopher's stone.
Oh yes, and
the
source codes that.
But there's more to it than that. Those are just high energy nutrients for the body at high atomic rates. In other words, when your body's holding a high energy rate and a high level of time energy, that's the only way I could explain it right now, because there's 3 different types of energy and time we won't get into right now. But when your body's holding that type of energy, it needs that high end, that nutrient that's just next level. That's monatomic elements, gold, silver, platinum, so on and so forth. So that's why they love your shit, Bernie.
Yeah, and I've actually developed it a lot more where, see, monoatomics are the neutral, but then there's also the charged particles and the polarized particles. And with the entire system, you're able to get and harvest the etheric wind, and also it also enables the quantum computing transfer of your the information on the photons and electrons.
There's
and
my latest
particles.
Bargain, eh, Mike?
That's my latest cell.
What are you pulling out of that?
About 2.5 volts out of this one.
Nice.
Yep. consistent.
Very nice.
That's the graphite on the back. There you go.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're doing. I've been building on what we discussed, but I'm not showing any of that. That's not my cup of tea. That's your cup of tea. You know what I mean? Stay away from that. Just like what Bernie's doing. I've been doing that stuff for a while, but it's not my cup of tea. That's Bernie's. I'm gonna stay away from that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're
you guys
all
jazz your own thing.
Cool. We're all delving into each other's things as cool as we learn off of each other's.
Well, ultimately, here's the thing. Once you learn the basic principle, it doesn't matter if it's chemistry, if it's crystal cells, if it's electromagnetic frequencies, when it comes to electromagnetic coil systems. When you learn the basic principle, they all interweave and intertwine. Because
I guess I would say the easiest way to boil it down to a basic principle would be pressure. If you just understood pressure and vacuum, you know, how those two relate is.
I have to disagree, but I get how people think it's pressure. I totally understand how and why.
Kind of.
But there's more to it.
It's a basic. It's a very basic level for entry. Like some people are just getting into this and they don't understand. Like, how can we boil it down to a simple principle? Let's say pressure difference.
Look at that light up. Boom.
You know. So
just touching that solid state.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful. I'm down you, man.
Power, man.
I love
Gerald,
it.
while we have you, are you? I guess,
dude, you gotta show Schwartz though,
or maybe play.
You gotta show Schwartz, dude. You gotta show
Schwartz. EVO you created.
Say what? Who's talking to who?
The ball lightning. The ball lightning, Gerald. There's a video that you made showing the ball lightning with in the plasma tube.
Oh yeah, I'm not showing that right now because I wasn't set up to show anything. I gave my word I'd pop in. I've popped on, but I want to do a presentation across all your channels because once I put it out there, dude, everybody's going to replicate it and call it their own. And I don't care. Go right ahead. I've already done it.
We're a team.
Play the video.
We know, dude. You've been laying down. You've been laying down the record for a long time, dude.
Review
like anybody that goes back into the videos will see what you're saying. You've been laying it down.
Go.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's on record.
What I've been
saying
right. Before, like I said, everything I'm doing has already been done before by others. I'm just getting ahead of the game because I'm playing with things that people are afraid to play with because they're worried they're gonna die or something. You know what? I'm not worried I'm gonna die. I don't care. Why do I say that? Because I know what comes after. It doesn't matter. So in the name of science, if we're working and busting our you-know-whats, we'll get this done. That's
Let's
all
do it. I'm down, man. Yeah.
Drop the fear. Like, who cares? Couple thousand volts, it ain't gonna kill you. Well,
it's gonna.
But it killed your electronics, though, right? What else did it?
All the time, man. The computer stacks I have it's stupid what I've killed.
It's gonna be corny, but what if this video went Captain Planet, dude? Please hear me out for a second. Like, when our powers combine. Have you ever seen Captain Planet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Because that's what we're saying we're all involved in this. We're all
Ultron combined.
Let me say something to you about this. I'm sorry to be. I don't mean to be taking over the limelight. Maybe I should just shut up here.
Oh no, take over. We want you to,
bro, dude.
Yeah, we see you like once a month.
The whole reason why I started all this, I wasn't searching for free energy. Okay. And I wasn't searching for anti-gravity. I was searching how to grow food really fast. And I was searching for, how do I explain that? The connection between lamin, the cell lamin, and luciferase in the body and how light is created and the biology of it and why and how the human being is directly connected.
It is interesting how vitamin D is provided by the sun, so you're not on a
I get that
there.
But what I'm talking about,
you're not on something.
What I'm talking about goes into what Bernie was working on, what Moses was doing.
That's what I'm saying. We're all doing
and what we've all been searching for an essential in life. That little bit of extra time that we all want in life, right? I'd love to learn how to play guitar again. I don't have freaking time.
You could do it.
We could extend our time. Then, well, what couldn't you do, right? I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm living for a few hundred years. That's why I'm pissed off. I'm like, no nuclear war, all right? I've figured out longevity. Screw y'all.
Here's the
I
thing.
want to live hundreds of years.
Here's the thing. You can't live
lay back on the silver, though, unless you'll turn blue.
You can't live hundreds of years.
I've been over that, Jarvis.
Hey,
I know.
You can't live hundreds of years. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying. Your body will break down. You'll die. But you know what you can do? You can pause time.
Yep.
So if you're 30, say you're 35 now, right? And you went into a very specific area with specific things running, time pauses in that very specific area. You're 35 till that machine shuts off. You have 1,000 years.
Or you can clone yourself and download your memory back into
that's too risky. Wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
What
about your soul? What about your spirit? You can't download that. And if you don't believe you have one, hey, teach your own. I get it. I'm not harping on anyone. But I know from when I died, there's more to you than just this physical self. I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely.
You're the total sum of all your experiences and everything you ever lived through at the point of your death. You're the complete.
And perhaps physically you're connected to everything too. It seems like we're not, but we're all connected.
You never forget anything. You feel yourself, your body, you're whole. You live longer than you think. If you think that your life is like just in the flesh, you're like 80 years and that's it, you're done, you're going to darkness. Sorry to break it to you. There's a lot more.
If we believe,
there's a paradox about that.
Hold on, I want to say something.
Paradox. Okay, yeah.
If we believe that there in science there's something called phase transition, then we should believe that humans also do the same thing because we're energy. So if energy does phase transition, so can we.
You go, Lulu. You go, Lulu.
Right?
What's phase transitioning? At the moment of your death. Well, at the moment of your conception, what happens? A spark between the man and a woman. You get that. And
the mineral that sparks it is zinc. Zinc is literally the mineral that sparks it.
I don't even know. No offense. The chemistry doesn't mean shit.
It's interesting though.
I'm talking about
your life having off a little spark of zinc though is cool. Everybody's life a little bit. No, okay, it's biology, dude. The zinc.
No, that's chemistry. That's not life.
It's biology.
I agree with Gerald here, and it has to do with fields. It's a lot more than just one element.
Yeah, the whole muon, gluon,
#robot.
That stuff. That's all bullshit physicists came up with to literally distract the experimenter. So they didn't find the truth about what's out there. That's my opinion. And you know what? The physicists are the ones that have to prove it wrong. You want to know why? Because all they got is theories. Nothing else. Yep. Theories in papers, this in paper. It's all theory. It's bullshit. Sorry. Show me something. You want to impress me? Build something. Make it work. Then explain it. Otherwise, you're just a bunch of...
Exactly. It's like the mailing list I blasted in the last weeks. They all have their theory and things like that. And there's somebody that says that has a theory, and she said she's able to create mini wormhole or something like that.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Jenny. So
Jenny, yeah.
And then I just asked her, okay, what defines the location of a white hole? and she couldn't answer. Simple question. Well, where is the object gonna end up? It's what defines the location. And she used AI to answer, but I know she used AI because I asked the AI the same question, and the answer was similar.
Hey, Philip, this is kind of philosophical because you're Philip, but if there's a black hole and a white hole, is there a gray hole?
Might be a brown hole. No,
That's on the other side of Uranus, though. So
you're right. That's nothing to do with Mercury. It's all about Uranus.
A brown hole.
Speaking of which, so Pluto definitely is planet 9. They've found like atmospheres on it, all sorts of stuff.
Pluto needs to be a planet. Pluto is a planet.
Now they're saying, oh, we found new planet 9, which for anyone that was alive before the 2000s, that's planet X, okay? And planet X.
Yeah. If Pluto is a planet, I think Pluto's a planet.
Apparently they found planet X. Have you guys and
I'll give you guys a thought experiment when it comes to wormholes. You know, they say there's a black hole and a white hole. Well, are you sure it's not just forward inertia and then the back electromotive force to that forward inertia? Kind of like, think about it as an electromagnetic coil. When you put power through it, there's a back electromagnetic force that heats up the copper, and really that's the current. It's the energy forcing it to stop. But if you could charge separate that, and have a black hole here with the same resonant frequency on the other side of, say, the universe,
the gray
one
hole
would act as a white and one would act as a black, right?
Yeah, but it's like quantum tunneling. Quantum tunneling, like I was saying the other day, is just a photon that gets converted into a dark photon, and its energy is being converted into kinetic energy, so it has a boost of speed.
Okay, so I'm not sure on that one. I'm still working on my theory because of what I'm finding. I'm now 25 feet apart in coils, pulsing the primary on the one side of the room, and collecting the power on the secondary on the other side of the room. Right. So, and it's instant. So is it faster than light communication? I would say it is. Has to be observed by others. But I'm not finding the distance to be stopping. I'm at 25 feet. Now I'm going to start going outside and experimenting. What's that?
There's nothing holding it back. That means the transfers happen through the ether. The ether is the conduit for the connection between point A and point B. That's why because it exceeds C.
Yeah, and if that's the case, I should be able to go 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, and keep
3
going.
million.
Yeah. So that's the next experiments outside the house.
Very nice.
I'm on live. Yeah. So that one I'm going to put on video, and I'm going to literally put the title in FTL Communications.
Nice.
Prove me wrong. That's how I'm going to put it.
I love it.
I mean, I've already showed a small version of it on my channel where I had a ferrite core hanging in the middle and I had 2 coils on either side.
Right.
That was just the first beginning experiment that I wanted to show. But it literally shows it instantaneous from one to the other. So could it be done? Absolutely. What the physicists are telling us is bullshit. Albert Einstein was a potato farmer, okay? That's it. His bullshit just stopped literally experimental science for over 100 years. With all due respect to the man, your time's done. Move on.
The physicists should have nothing to do with electrical science at all. They have no place there. They shouldn't have been there at all.
Can I give an interesting fact? By the time you hit a light switch and take your finger off the light switch, light has traveled around the Earth nearly twice.
3 times. 3 times. Yeah.
I used to use that as an
it's
example.
closer to 3. Yeah. I can show.
It's still fast. Like I'm not. C is fast.
It's just like wicked fast. It seems instantaneous if you're in one environment.
When you're dealing with a scalar wave, it's pi over 2 to the speed of light.
Yes. That's it. Yep.
All right.
LMD.
So
It's a different mode. It's a different mode entirely.
Yeah.
It's
Pi
very
over
you
2
know,
to the speed of light.
yeah. Yep. It's a different
And,
mode
and,
though.
and heavy and Oliver Heaviside knew this. And look
I
what
know all
happened to
about
him.
heavy side. I know Schauberger. Everybody's like,
Yeah, but that's where true science stopped. Then they
Steinmetz.
put fucking Einstein in there
Yeah.
and all those other guys rewrote
Yeah.
the book and the equations to stop
true.
guys like you and me and everybody else from experimenting. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
yeah.
Yeah. Since
Yep.
Steinmetz died, that was it. It was over.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Estonians took over.
But Steinmetz was so cool. I
Even
thought-
John
thing is-
Hutchinson that everybody loves so much. I'm sorry, he's a
Mhm.
fucking sellout. Sorry. I knew the guy back in the 90s. He was so much different than he is now. He's a sellout.
he's-
He's sold out. Sorry.
I
Oh.
wouldn't even say sold out.
I'll
would
back
say
you, man. I'll back you up
he's-
because I know
well,
you're right.
Hutchison's got a gatekeeper. All right.
Yeah, 100%. He's got more than one. Heck, his wife
Yeah.
was his gatekeeper
He's
for a while.
captured. Yeah, his
Yeah.
wife captured him. She is the
Yeah.
gatekeeper. I can
Yeah.
speak from experience with that.
Nice.
I was there
That's
too.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in the game, dude. This group right here knows, like, this is the big dog chat. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we kid around and have, like, little puppies conversating, but this is big dog chat. Like, we've done a lot of research.
So the
You know what I
problem
mean?
the problem is the real electrical engineering back in the day ended in 1929, the death of Steinmetz. Even Steinmetz was suppressed at GE.
Yep.
There was a lot of papers that he wanted to publish, and GE
Yeah.
said no way. No way.
And it was from negative resistance.
yes.
Well, one of the
and-
last experimenters was Eric Pollard, and Steinmetz was his sort of
Yes.
go-to guy, right? So
right.
See, we get it, dude. Like, honestly, this is like some top.
Well,
dog.
what it is you have the Einstein suppressive religion science that
yeah,
is-
religion.
took over.
Mhm.
It's a religion. It's a
It
religion.
is. You
Yeah.
More cult.
It's not a religion, it's a
Could be a
criminal
cult.
organization because
It's a cult.
they use false pretense to encourage people to challenge Einstein, but they make it impossible to publish. If you can't publish, you cannot win the Nobel Prize. You cannot do anything. They're just gonna steal your ideas.
Well, that's the thing. It's a cult.
The
That's
in-between
the,
process.
Right.
that's
it's
the whole deal. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's a club and you're not in it.
Yeah.
Pretty
You
much.
know what I say to that? You know what I say to clubs I'm not in?
Yeah, exactly.
Who
That's
That's
cares?
what I say. That's me, though.
Who really cares? You know
Yeah.
I
what
don't.
I say. Okay, if you're normal, you get normal results. It kind of takes somebody a little bit crazy to get crazy results because you're gonna try different things.
That's
If
right.
you're normal,
you have no
You get
borders.
normal results. You want to
It's
be
not
normal,
crazy
bias.
as
you
as
get
much
normal
as-
results.
No,
There's
I
no
don't care
bias.
about being a little bit crazy. I know I'm crazy.
Yeah.
it's
but
not
it's no
about crazy.
bias.
It's about no fear. Sorry, Mike.
No, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
these things. It's no
Confidence.
fear, it's no
Yeah.
borders, no
Yeah.
bias.
But you can't.
know?
If you're normal, you get normal results. Is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You gotta step outside the box a little bit.
I don't. I live outside the box. I use it as a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Academia. It's unfortunate. They took the wrong turn. Don't
Dude,
get me wrong.
bet-
Like I said before, a lot of smart people in academia. It's just they're all brainwashed. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them.
A lot. Most.
Yeah.
Most. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just crushed them into oblivion in the last week. Did all the Jack Frday, Paez, and
Sell pies.
Weinstein.
He's a clown to
Paez wanted to debate the other day. I saw his interview. He said, "Oh, please, I want to debate. I want to." No, he has his chance and he get crushed into a day or two. You know?
Yeah, he
Such a
wants to
clown.
debate math and theory. I'll tell you what, I got over about 120 hours of footage of things you can't explain. Let's debate that. Sal Paez. Them and their theories, right? Show me something that works, or it's all talk. And
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Bingo, bango, boom. I'm
It's
just
the whole
And
time dilation.
it's cool because we're literally putting it on camera. Okay, if I may say this, Sean was the first person I've ever seen use a permanently charged piece of object to run a motor around. It was doing work. That's the
we're
first
gonna
time.
talk, Jarvis.
Yeah,
Jarvis.
you could say
Jarvis,
that.
That was the first time.
That's the
Jarvis,
first time you've seen it? That's the first time you've seen it?
Have you ever seen that demonstration?
Yeah.
Where?
Jeremiah Pop did it. He
Really?
built an electric that had that same thing, and he was pulling it around. So
Nice. Good.
it's just charge and
Yeah, it's
charge
not-
separation and
Jeremiah
Wait,
Pop, he's awesome, dude. Yeah. But me and
he's
Sean too, like Sean, I don't know, like I believe you when you say Jeremiah Pop, but Sean was the first I've personally seen.
Oh no, I get it. I'm not saying that
It's cool.
you do it. I watched him do it. I thought it was awesome too. He isn't the
It's
first.
really like, woo! It's kind of cool though. You know, it opens a lot of perspective when it comes to technology. I mean,
Jarvis,
we're really using.
Jarvis. After the show, I need to talk to you about something.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about it too. I think I get you.
Yeah, I think I've stumbled on something you might find very interesting.
Oh, speaking of stumble, although I didn't really stumble, but been doing some experiments with solar panels. Yeah, 20% my ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can pull a whole lot more out of there. I'm about to cause some controversy on somebody's channel because
you can do it, dude. You can do it.
They were stating that solar panels are very specific.
Ooh.
You can't get more out.
They say 20%. I could use 100 watts and get 1,000 watts off of one 100-watt panel, dude. I think you could do it too. I know you can do it.
Sure,
dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if we all,
I'm not going to claim numbers. I'm just going to show what I got. When it comes to the solar, because Mike and I were talking about it maybe a month and a half ago about a cap dump, right?
Yep.
Remember us discussing that? Now I found this specific circuit. That circuit with my coil system in it and a certain other little circuit involved, you can add it to almost anything, dude, and pull so much out. It's insane. Like, you can add it to a freaking vacuum motor and pull power out of it.
Yeah.
And again, the Chinese have actually developed this. They've been publishing lots on it. And they're like, oh, it's like I'll get these notifications and it's like China, solar power, 10,000 times more efficient.
I've heard that too, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like,
this circuit, this thing I'm working on, I want to get it to all of you. It won't involve my coil, but you can use like almost any coil with it.
I know China
Yeah,
steals everything, man. You know?
Yeah,
no,
well,
they're
No,
ahead
but
of us. They're not
about it.
stealing it anymore. They can't steal stuff that's ahead of what
Bro,
we're
they're gonna steal-
developing.
No, but
They're gonna still-
think about it.
Well,
it's pretty easy.
Okay. Developing,
the-
I agree, but they're taking intellectual property that's legally bound.
They
what does the
still
American government do? The exact
still
same.
bad.
I'm just saying they're
all
doing their
governments
thing, but-
are evil. Just get that in your head. It's like they play us against each other.
Yeah, but America's
they all
the best.
do the exact same.
I don't know about that.
Go to whatever country you want to. You're not gonna get better.
I'm sorry, America.
Yeah,
used
but
to be
think
the best.
about it. They steal our patents and trade secrets. They start a company on it. They're gonna get investors because they know it works because we already started companies here in North America, so they know that the market study is positive. They know they're gonna get revenue, so they just have to copy all these parts, all the R&D we did, all the market analysis, and then they're gonna get investors for sure. So it's a low risk, extremely low risk investment opportunities that they can make in China, and I think that's how Warren Buffett made his fortune. That's what I
Half
You
heard.
know how much a
half of the
do you know how much
billionaire-
a penny is worth? That's like before 1982. Right now, it's 3 pennies. Okay, I saw this.
half the
coming.
billionaires out there made money off of trading with China.
You
and
triple
Russia.
your money for
And they
free when
just
you
didn't tell
invest in
anyone.
pennies, dude. You can invest in pennies and triple your money right now because
Yeah,
Trump announced that penny. Dude, I'm just saying, like when you
that's a lot of work, dude. You know what I mean?
not. No, it's not, dude. I got, dude.
yeah,
I
it is.
literally went out of the bank with crates of this. I have so many pennies, dude. I'm telling you.
Well,
Even the
I
zinc
just
is
spent
valuable too.
I just spent $672. That's my mark for one build, and I'm gonna pull maybe $4,700 profit off of it. So pennies, I'm okay. You know what I mean?
I get you. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's an easy way to triple it. If you know what you're doing,
It would take time though, and a lot of effort. And
yes,
work.
yes,
What's
yes.
your
A
time
lot
worth?
of gasoline to go
But
collect
you-
all them pennies.
Yeah, and what's your
Imagine-
time worth?
Yeah,
My
that's
time's
it,
worth
though.
way more than fucking pennies. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I agree.
because
I
pennies
agree.
are no longer minted though.
Well,
They're
I'm
increasing
looking for a
value.
blue penny.
You're already at 3 cents. I already triple
It's actually 4. Each
Harvest,
penny
what
equals
can you
4
buy for
cents.
3 cents?
because copper is a
looking for a
war
blue
material,
penny.
brother.
Yep.
Dude, I'm just saying. I saw.
No,
copper.
I'm listening.
I got like a bunch of
I'm thinking, right?
Dude, you triple your
quiet.
money. And
Go ahead.
it's free money, literally.
So
Right.
here's my garden from last year. And
Nice.
you can see that much smaller where I'm using just regular water and much larger where I'm using the ionic water. And yeah, I'm getting about double, triple yield off of the ionic water. Sorry, this one's actually from 2 years ago. And then when I was showing my pictures a couple days ago from last year, it's like now it's kind of mixed throughout all the soil. So it's like they're all just growing off the chain. And it's like I need to get a new control garden to be able to like do the experiment properly to show, because everyone's like, well, it all looks big. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's all mixed in now and need to do a new control.
You're not using electroculture in that at the same time, are you?
No, not yet. Not yet. Just
I want to throw out a brain tease for everybody. You know how they're looking at your dirt and looking at the ground? And everybody's been talking about how they pull energy out of the ground and they ground up their systems. Sorry, that's not quite how it works. Took me a little while to figure it out. Got zapped a few times doing it. But
If I may
You're not
say
getting
one thing,
you're not getting
you want
energy from the ground.
your
What?
dirt to be full of worms. Put as many worms as you can into your dirt. It'll help fertilize it.
yes, worms are electroculture, indeed.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to teach you guys.
Just
right now.
saying, Gerald.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut because I want to do this big. I've been waiting so fucking long to do this reveal, but
Dude,
unfortunately,
we need an electro. We
All right.
need
I
electro.
gotta bust my balls working, doing stuff to make money to get my inventions built, right? So now I've got everything done. Now I just want to throw it all out there, but to put it together so that everybody can see it in one sort of understandable way, it's taking me just a little bit more time because I have to do it so that everything gets revealed, and at the end of the reveal, you guys have the option to shut your channels off because I'm going to go into health after that. Remember, I don't get paid for my channel. I don't have members or anything. So it doesn't fucking matter to me what they send me. But I'm going to lay out what it is that I've been working on and what the purpose is for. So I want to do this big presentation on all your channels. I'll show it to you all before you decide. And then at the end of the presentation, I want to get into the health aspect. because that's why I've been involved in all this.
Absolutely. And what we can do
Yeah.
is we'll just
Dude,
switch it
I
off
see.
on YouTube and send it over
Yeah.
to Rumble.
There you
So
go.
then it's
So
like
that
we can
it's-
do
That's
the
gonna
health
be
aspect on
be
Rumble.
epic, dude. That's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
see
I
it.
go into the pyramids, the angles of the pyramids, the what they're
dude.
made of, why they're made of that, what health and the things that go along with it. I don't want to say the other word after that health word, so we'll just leave it
Right.
at that. Okay, so
That's
there's some
Yeah.
crazy stuff that needs to be discussed. We'll say
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Shape Power. Have you ever read that book,
Oh yeah,
Nicole?
it is. It's somewhat correct. There's
Did you
more
ever
to it
read
than that.
Did you ever read the book by Viktor Grebennikov?
Yeah, actually, I have it on my hard drive.
Isn't that a fun book to read, though? Isn't it cool?
It's
Dude.
different. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What if
believe
it's
he
true?
achieved it. I believe he achieved it.
I think
'Cause,
he did too. I do.
There is some stories out there about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. And he was using an electroscope to zoom into the specimen. Maybe that cathode ray beam that hit it on whatever platform it was caused it to levitate as he's looking through the microscope.
Well, if my interpretation was correct, he was creating charge separation, and the airflow between the charge separation was allowing him to move freely, we'll say. Bernie, you're going all ape on the
dude
comments. Having fun.
I just have to say, you've been talking about
I was just
charge
joking. I was
separation,
joking, man.
and it's so true. You keep the charge, like you've been harping on that since the first time I heard about you, like almost a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? It's just the same thing. Like you don't want to destroy the dipole. You want to keep the charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all you have to do is pay for the, you pay for the switching and you collect the rest. And if you know how to pump it right, you can literally dude, you can power your house, your neighbor's house, and your other neighbor's house with maybe the power of 10 amps out of a 12-volt battery, because you're only paying for the switching. The switching is what causes that extra energy to come through. It isn't a spark gap or
imagine a monkey. Imagine a monkey that tries to hit a bell at the same frequency that the bell rings at. And imagine the other monkey just be like, bing, bing, and hitting it at the right time. The efficiency comes in the monkey that hit the bell slowly instead of the monkey that's like,
Yeah, I guess
most people try to do that. They try to force the resonance, and the resonance is easy. You know what I mean? It's hitting a bell. It's not,
it is.
It's not quick.
You gotta.
I'm not a drummer. I'm like a little. I don't want to drum the bell. I want to just hit the bell and let it ring.
Well, what you want to do is confine that charge in the space. Confine it to a space, and all you have to do is tap off it. When you tap off it, you're not killing a dipole. It's staying charged.
And you can use light.
That's Sparky Sweet, though. Yeah. That's Sparky Sweet.
Ooh, I like the light.
You can use light. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry to cut you off there, but when you're using an electromagnetic coil, you can use light to direct your lines of force. Crazy, dude. That's like a fucking right there.
Like maybe a tractor beam where you could literally use light. No,
maybe that's not quite what I'm talking about, though.
But maybe
something that blew my freaking mind about light.
So if you're directing light at your coil, what direction do you face that light to the coil?
Depends what direction the energy is coming off of your coil.
Okay, so if you want to get, say, more current, you're gonna
use the light
towards.
If you use the light as your lines of force, the photons that are being created literally multiply, because it's like, how do I explain that? Think of a little stream that's going down a mountain, right? It collects faster and faster as it goes.
Okay.
No, that's not the right example to explain.
Ventruli.
I'm trying to put it into words so that I don't give away too much, but I give away enough so you understand.
Now, what type of light? What type of light are you using?
LEDs.
Just LEDs.
Just LEDs.
Any particular power or?
Oh, maybe
LEDs.
a particular color.
Oh.
LEDs matter. Elijah Attack notices.
Maybe
Which
a particular color.
okay. What nanometer? 640 to 960 or higher?
Lower to higher.
This is
Lower
a
to
big
higher?
dog talk.
620 to 960 nanometer. Okay.
You can go a little higher than that even.
Over 1,000 nanometer.
Yeah, you and I have to talk. As soon as I tell you, you'd be like, "Oh, really?"
So you gotta stay on to after the live then. Tell us.
Okay.
You might be getting it. I'm telling you.
I'm seeing big dog potential.
You've been lied to.
Yep. I
Anyway,
will not argue
sorry, I
with
get
that.
excited. It's just my passion.
I love being able to talk with Gerald. Thank you for coming on.
I just yell at people. I'm sorry.
You drug me in a little bit.
Poor Phil's been trying to get a word in edgewise, and that crazy freaking Gerald won't shut up.
Oh no, Phil's going to get potato chips and beer from the Kushtar. He'll be back.
No, he went to go get that.
Some bratwurst.
In there, huh?
He's getting bratwurst, man.
He likes his
Bratwurst
guy
and beer.
there.
Oh God.
Yeah, I can say it. I'm French, so
Here
I don't
I'm
speak it, but I
showing
have the accent, right?
my red state and black state coils.
I'm
Those just copper
I'm
in
sorry.
this
We were
reaction,
joking
but-
about color holes earlier, Bernie, and now you got a red hole.
All right. I know. A red and a black. Uh-oh.
Right?
It kind of looks like a red blood cell, though, right? Kind of.
I don't see
Look
no
at
brown holes, so we're good.
Look at the
Exactly.
toroidal red shape. The toroidal red shape in the corner.
And the
Yes.
black.
It looks like a
And
red
one
blood
producing
cell.
white.
What I love is the suspension, what's in the water itself. That's what excites me. Because I see
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I've figured out, the red state is the hydrogen state, and that is your very charged.
I think it's oxidation of the
state.
iron, bro. The red
That-
is like
Nathan
There's no
recognized the
iron
red
in
hole.
that. I literally said that's just copper.
okay. Yeah, you're right.
And I can
I'm
turn
sorry.
all pure
Yeah,
metal
my
elements
bad.
into that red state.
Yeah,
So
my bad.
it's-
You're right.
It's actually,
You're right.
It comes from Sir Isaac
right.
Newton's seven
Yeah.
colored states of alchemy.
Dude, you know
And-
what's up.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry,
I'm with
Alan.
Nathan.
I was
Sounds
wrong.
Like a huge black hole. I'm kidding. Bernie. Come on.
Right? Nathan, hop on. And so just
Come
to go
on,
back
Nathan.
to it again, so this one here, the gray that is forming, well, I'm gonna speculate that's another type of hydrogen isotope, but it has a decay rate if you don't know what you're doing. But we'll just leave that tease.
Is
for
it
there.
palladium? Is it palladium?
No, it's off of copper. It's a hydrogen isotope.
Yeah, so when you
Have
have
you
two
ever put
terminals
any
in an
of your-
electrolyte, one terminal produces hydrogen, the other produces oxygen. But normally you get two
Yes,
oxygens.
except when you
one
have
oxygen.
no-
So yeah, it's a spontaneous reaction. And
Is it like
yeah,
solid
that's the
state
basic breakdown, Jarvis. There's a lot
Yes.
more going on in there than
Yes.
that. I've got several cathodes and anodes.
I'm just saying I get you. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't you like to know, Nathan? Wouldn't you like to know? And you'll have to join in to find out what the white stuff on the holes is.
Come on,
all right?
Nathan, you can do it.
The what Dusty said, and I won't repeat it, but what Dusty said, that's actually easy to make. It's really
Who's Dusty?
easy to make.
Yeah, and that's
Comment.
part of what's in
Oh.
these reactions. That is
Yeah.
Sorry.
actually part
There's
of
a way
what
of
is in
making
these
it
reactions.
exponentially fast, Bernie. Like
I know.
exponentially.
I know how fast
Yeah.
it makes it. It's crazy,
Yeah.
especially with the triple coils. It's why I don't say too much because I don't want to get arrested.
No, I know, but that shit can be for sale, dude. You know how much that stuff
I
worth?
know.
Yes.
I'm working on patents, but it's like,
Yes.
how the fuck do you sell heavy water
Yeah,
and
you have to
deuterium and
apply to the-
tritium and be like, hey,
Yeah.
here you go.
Deuterium and tritium are extractable though. If you extract it the right way.
Yes,
It's funny,
exactly.
like-
I'm well aware, and I
Yeah.
figured out how the key part is how
Yeah.
you solidify. I'm not going to give too much of my processes away, but
No,
to
just
prevent
don't-
the
you gotta
decay.
stop
Don't
there.
go there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too easy
Yeah.
to figure out if you
Hush.
know chemistry,
Hush
so
it up.
stay away from it. Yeah. Keep your
Yeah.
shit to yourself until you get it all done
Yeah.
up. I get you.
Yeah, indeed.
It's just like what I've got going on, man. If I show it, people be all over it. Be like flies on shit. You know what I mean?
Just like, oh, and that's why I laugh at like well, I don't laugh because it's a tragedy, but the excuse of going after Iran, because it's like I learned this from an Iranian nuclear physicist. If they wanted the weapons, they could have had them a very long time ago. But I did refine the processes exponentially more.
I think they want what they're hiding. That nobody talks about, was talked about in the 90s, was talked about in the early 2000s, and then it just disappeared. A giant red ruby. Giant, man. Like the thing that old tales are told about. And it's used in a very specific way, if you know what I mean. What's a red ruby made? What's it used for in today's day? Lasers, right?
Infrared.
True.
Well, if you had a giant red ruby and you knew how to use it properly, you could actually make a big laser, right? Well, apparently the story goes that they have a freaking giant one, and that's what this is all about. I don't know. It's just a story, okay? Take it with a big truckload of salt. Just keep it in mind. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff this world is. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. What was that?
I do agree with that. I do agree. And that some of the more advanced UFO patents. Oh, shit. Nathan's been here for a while. My bad. Sorry, Nathan. There you are. Welcome, old man.
Old man builds.
What's up, guys? I heard you guys were talking about a giant one, so I had to join.
We're talking about holes. Bernie's brown one and his
We were
red one.
talking about in and out earlier, so I knew you would pop up.
The giant ones were not
Big
anal
fucking
logs.
holes.
The giant ones
Yo,
were
I got
not
my coils as holes.
analog.
Oh, yeah, we got some crusties on your hole.
Yeah. But it's the charge of this material. And that you want to coat in a 3-coil system, you want to coat one with this coating, one with this coating, and one with this coating right here, the blue. The blue,
Nice.
right? So you, by having 3 different
Copper sulfate.
charges,
Copper sulfate.
sulfates, it's not on that unless it's creating a transmutation of sulfur out of the water. But yes, they're
you
GANs slash Ormus reactors, but they're also hydrogen reactors and exponentially more than that.
I'm just saying, all you got to do is take copper sulfate, and you can get like all the more reactive elements just in series. You know what I mean? Like you could drop any metal in there, and if you drop aluminum and copper sulfate, the aluminum spontaneously just grabs it, and you get like a powder of copper. You know what I mean? Copper sulfate can allow you to separate the alchemical, which alchemical is alkaline metals are more alchemical. So zinc and
Yeah.
aluminum.
So for those
All those
that haven't
reactive elements are
followed
more
my
alchemical.
work,
All those.
I've developed different processes of making ormus directly just out of electricity
That
and
doesn't
fields.
look.
Yeah, right. That does, but those are actual nanotubes.
I know it
That
just looks a little
It's a little bit suspicious, is what it is.
right.
I am
Right?
not trying to make homunculus here, all right? God damn it. There's no
Already got happy one
homunculus
day.
ingredients involved. That is pure
Yeah.
metal. And this one is zinc. That is zinc nanotubes, but I make the same out of carbon, out of gold, out of silver, out of iron, out of all the different
I
pure
don't
metal
doubt
elements.
it. I don't. It just that looks a little suspect. We'll say.
Yeah, they all do. And is that why it's called God Semen? I suspect so.
Ah, that's too much for me, man.
That capped it off.
Hey, you were insinuating it, so I had to say it, all right?
Oh wow,
This is a family show.
Yeah, come
it
on.
was. Oh,
Once.
not with pictures
Frost-
like that.
Frosty.
Hey, that's just a jar with electricity going in, okay? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure you were really shocked when it happened.
Yeah,
You were
he's playing with
you
his
were
wire.
just cleaning it and went off, huh? You're cleaning your jar.
did it all
Working it
on
good.
its own, but that is why I am petrified of the legends of the homunculus, because it's like,
Dude, I have
If
heard
they-
stories of the homunculus. Can I tell you a story that I heard whenever I was introduced into Rosicrucians? I'll say it publicly to you for the first time.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's like
I'm
crystal
kind of
coral.
behind the
That's
Frday
nice.
Research Live sign, so I can't really express myself. So, okay, there's this story.
Do we want to see you express yourself while you're explaining homunculus?
Do we have
Yes.
to see you express
Yes.
yourself while you're
Yes.
explaining?
Get the blur
Yes.
ready. Get the
Yes.
blur ready.
Dude, yes. Homunculus, dude. This is a story that I was taught. And I'm saying it for the first
One of
time.
my ex used to call me homunculus, but it
We
was
can
just
either do
short,
it.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. I guess we won't do it. You know what I mean? Okay.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
do it
off the
anyway.
rails.
So there was this coding where you could be like a blood brother if you exchange blood with somebody. Say you prick your finger and you exchange the blood and your blood brother with somebody. You can tap on your finger in the future and they get a sensation of the tap to give them a what's up. Okay. So
That's
this
only
is
if
like
you believe it.
yeah, but this was the origin of blood brothers. Like they would do this, and you know, if it was here, you could tap here. Wherever you exchange your blood, and you tapped it to give a signal, you would feel some sensation. Be like, oh, dude, something's going on. You know what I mean? It was an indication.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I'm listening.
So the humongous is kind of like that, where you drop your blood in there and it can be cellular, you know, and it kind of does its own thing. You know what I mean?
So,
So it could be a
let me get
living-
this right. You drop your blood from other
No,
body parts,
homunculus
and,
is not
and they
made
feel
from
it
blood.
too.
Homunculus
No.
is made from the other stuff and an egg of a different.
You can
animal
use an
or the
egg. I'm
same
just saying.
animal. No, homunculus
You can
is
use-
strictly the reproductive materials of a male and female combined into the jar. All right, so yes,
Does it have something to do with some sort of like clay or something too? Or
Well,
that
this is what I learned getting in this thing is they said when you drop your blood into something like that, there's repercussions. When I'm trying to signal my blood brother, the organism that had the blood will actually receive the signal too. So it is like a little
quantum
like it's
entangled
weird.
with blood.
Alchemy is a
that's
very
blood
interesting
magic, not alchemy. There's a difference.
like hiding
No,
a
it's
Alchemy
code
both.
has to
through
It's
do
both,
DNA.
dude.
It's
It's both,
hiding
dude.
a
It's both.
code through DNA. It's hiding a code through DNA.
Yeah, yeah. I could literally tap on my arm, and my blood brother would feel a sensation and try to interpret it. That's
It's
that's
a
deep.
language. It's a
And
hidden
this is the first time. Yeah,
biology.
this is the first.
Hidden
Yeah, this is
language
the
through
first time I disclose it. You know what I mean? But that's what I was taught. So take it as you will.
Have you experimented with it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But that's what they taught me. I don't know if it's true or not. You know, it takes, But I'm just saying, like, people have been studying it for thousands of years, and there may be a possibility to communicate without talking through a blood transfer situation. It sounds legit.
But the
It's
thing is with that is if that was true, dude,
It
person
is
that
true. It
gave me
works with
blood-
mothers and their children, and it's why it can sense when their kids are in danger. Or
Okay,
when
okay,
people
but
like
now
their
you're
family
talking something
dies.
totally different, dude. It isn't just the blood. Because if that was the case,
Bernie,
the amount
dude,
of
yeah.
blood that I was given when I died, the guy whoever gave me the blood could slap themselves and I'd be feeling it all day
Oh
long.
no,
I lost
okay,
2 pints,
okay, that's true.
So I'm sorry, I just don't believe it. You know what I mean?
But you know, it would be
Maybe
really
I'm wrong.
interesting. It would be really
I
interesting.
I understand.
Experiment
I'm not
with
saying
that,
it's right.
like research.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
People
Like, it'd be
like
interesting.
two blinds, and an experiment, and then monitor them. Do they do the same thing, or is there like a connection between?
This is deep alchemy. I'm saying.
I mean,
I'm
just
disclosing.
Blood
to prove
magic.
it.
Oh, it's real
Alchemy is
deep.
chemistry. Alchemy
I'm
is
just-
transmutation.
Something,
It's not
this
blood
is
magic.
something you'll never hear live. This is like, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not into blood
I
magic,
to
dude. I
a
think that shit's
degree,
I know.
I to a degree believe in this, and
I'm
person,
not
like,
a dark person though. I'm a light person.
so listen to this. Me and my sisters all have kids. So I decided to ask my sisters to do this. Anytime any of their kids get sick, to call me and let me know, because I want to see if any of my kids are sick, and then call our parents, to see if they're sick. I want to see if there's a connection between, entangled, let's say, very similar DNA, to the theory that they do experience a form of whatever the closest DNA is happening to them. So I do believe in that, because I saw a lot of anomalies in this. Like, my father would be sick, my sister's youngest son would be sick, and then my youngest daughter would be sick. So there's do you understand? Like, there's a connection, and they haven't seen each other, and like
Are
over
you
a
sure?
week. Yeah,
Are
I've
you
been,
sure that connection's not sympathetic resonance?
no,
You know what I mean?
but they don't know.
Maybe.
They don't
Yeah,
know.
but that doesn't matter. Like you said, you're genetically connected. So
Yeah.
sympathetic resonance wouldn't have anything to do with your conscience or the fact that you have even talked to each other in the last while. So I don't know, just a thought.
I don't know. I was thinking more of it in DNA, like
Yeah, but
CNAs
that's what I mean though. Their DNA resonates at one frequency, right?
Mhm.
And one person's sick. So with sympathetic resonance, it's out of phase, and all of a sudden it comes in phase, and they're both sick.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right. I just think it's all of the above, in a way. Yeah,
Maybe.
there's a connection.
Yeah.
Something's happened with Philip's connection. And Philip, if you can hear me, log out and try to log back in.
Hey, Lulu, what was that you were showing earlier? You had some kind of probe or something.
Oh, this is an infrared light, 1072 nanometer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
almost
like one of
microwave.
those.
It's
Yeah, it looks like a
almost
zappy
microwave.
thing from the
Dude,
Black
but
Men in
with
Black
gold,
movie.
she works with gold too, so that's awesome.
She had some Men in Black thing. Yeah.
She works with literal gold
I
coils.
got it like for
dude.
40 before.
Have
but-
you
but I
seen
thought-
what she
I got
does?
'em black.
She uses gold wire. It's
Nah,
real.
she's a woman in black. Now we know your secret, Lulu.
Yeah, we
That's
got
what it is.
She's a lizard shapeshifter.
Yeah. She's gonna zap your memory. Be careful.
Talk
Mike.
about our Lulu
Oh
that
my
way.
God, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right, guys. It looks like a zapper. Oh my
Doesn't
God.
it?
It looks like
Honestly,
oh my
that's
God.
awesome.
I
She's a
didn't even-
woman in black. That's what it is.
That's right. She's getting us all to reveal
We're
our
just
secrets.
like, what?
That's it.
I forget everything.
I promise you, I bought it from like Walgreens. You know, I thought it was
I want one
like-
now. Darn.
Yeah, so it wasn't, you know, it's like just from your local place, you know, store.
Bill, he got back.
Welcome back, Phil.
Yeah, welcome back.
Oh, you guys were all good?
What's
Were we
that?
what?
Were you guys all good or?
No, we lost you. You disappeared.
Yeah,
you
I thought
just
you went out
dropped
to
off.
get a poutine.
I'm
I'm
the
just
one,
kidding.
only one who got booed.
Yeah, you're the only
Yeah.
one that got booted.
And
Everybody
you're the
else
only
stayed here.
quiet one. Go figure.
Maybe a solar flare is hitting your internet right now.
Well, that's
Mm.
possible. It's pretty bad.
He's up
We're in
north.
a G5 right now.
Yeah.
We're in a
Yeah.
G5 storm now.
Canada,
Yeah, it's
man.
nasty.
There was 2x2s yesterday.
Mm.
Solar flares.
hmm
Sun's very active right now.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, so Frday, I know you saw that video I sent you earlier, but isn't that cool where Schwartz
Yeah,
is it Schwartz?
Schwartz. Yeah,
Did that?
yeah, with
Wasn't
the
that
2
cool?
rods.
Beware the Schwartz.
The way of the Schwartz.
He-
Your Schwartz is as big as mine, huh?
yes, dude, but he did it. Schwartz was like he demonstrated it though. His Schwartz was bigger than mine.
Okay, now we're breaking this down a little bit. You know, first we're whole. Now we're talking about our Schwartzes. Let's
Schwartz.
you know, maybe
Holes in
the we
Schwartz.
went to that gives you a little bit,
Holes
thought
in
process
Schwartz.
there.
It's all Lulu's fault. She zapped us all.
That's
Gotta
it.
let it out.
Damn
I
it,
swear to
Lulu.
God, I didn't think of it until you guys said like the man, and I'm like, man, God, it does kind of look like that thing. Man, my mind doesn't think like, like my mom gave me a quesadilla thing for, why I was interested in it? Because of the platelets inside of it. They had a certain wave, and I thought that would really be cool, if I took them apart from, the thing and attached them. It would would look like one of those saucers, but it would have that aerodynamic, gradient to it. And and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. She's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I can take it apart and make this. She was like, that's what you saw in it. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, you can have it. But like she gave it to me for a completely different purpose, and I saw it in a different kind of light. So with things like this,
Dude,
that's what happens to me.
because
you
you
know?
live outside.
I
the
enjoy
box,
I,
Lulu.
I enjoy what you make, but you don't share them often. Can we see something that you made?
Yeah, but later, next
Not
time.
right now. Later. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like a little UFO
I
panini
get you.
maker with those
Let's go.
sandwiches where you iron them like with that machine.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Dude, you
I'll-
make some cool stuff, man. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
this
like,
is one.
I feel like there's
This is one
engineers
of
like
them.
me that had to go through college to learn engineering and disagree with the mainstream engineers and have
Yeah.
to fight with the chat and be like, I agree, but this is what I was taught. And then she's a natural.
And
Gerald's
then you
a natural.
have my
Gerald's a natural too. Gerald is like one of the biggest naturals I know with his coils.
this is my
both of them-
mercury induced magnetic machine.
nice.
Because this is mercury
Mm,
magnet,
be careful.
magnets, and then you've
Mm.
got the like nodes between the nodes just to amplify the field, and
Dude,
then I
Lulu.
put different configurations to create different, readings, because it could be like plus minus, then, it could change because something else is offsetting it. And so if normal reading would be, sequential, it would, delete that sequence, because, it's a greater magnetic field. So, it wouldn't read as traditional how, the connection, because if it's not taking, part of that into, how far the cluster is, then you wouldn't understand it. But yeah.
That's awesome, Lulu.
I hope you
That's
understood
awesome.
what I'm talking about. I hope you understood.
That
what I'm
was really cool. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I got a question. Has anybody ever been able to separate mercury into constituent parts before? Is that worth something like a Nobel Prize or something?
In fact, I have a method that I've envisioned that, but I haven't had any mercury to play with to experiment on.
What if I may say this, Bernie? Is there a difference between the philosopher's mercury and true mercury?
Of course.
How about red mercury?
That as well. All
Red
three
mercury,
different things.
in my opinion, is just highly charged mercury. That's all it is.
Well, they had iron
with a lot of
oxide.
Might be wrong, but what?
This
Iron
is like
oxide.
2,000-year-old texts that say there's a difference between true mercury and philosopher's mercury, and me and Bernie have talked about it. And Lulu. Lulu is the only one that knows too.
Well, I've come across.
I know, but you told us not to say anything.
Hashtag robot. Hashtag robot.
I've come across some old script that states that mercury can be separated into 3 separate parts.
Really?
3 separate parts everybody wants.
Yep.
And it's
know
one of the
type.
reasons why mercury stays liquid at room temperature. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll throw it in with the reveal because it's insane. If you had a pool of mercury, dude, you'd have bars of this, coins of that, and a group of powder.
I know exactly of what you speak.
That's something to try, guys. Okay, something to try.
Well, I've been wanting to try lots of things with mercury. I just can't get my hands on any.
Don't kid yourself. Mercury is really dangerous, right? Like
it's when you oxidize it and monoatomic, it's then yes, but or nano particles.
For the audience, don't play with that.
Go to yard sales. Go to yard sales.
Yeah, don't play with
medicine
mercury.
kits. They always have a mercury thermometer in there.
Takes a lot of thermometers to equal enough to do a decent.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are other places you can gather it. Maybe we'll talk offline.
Thermostat.
How many thermometers it take to fill the hole? Is that the game you're playing?
Okay, when I gathered it,
what's your temperature today?
That's exactly what I did. I was living. I was at my grandparents', in a different country.
So true.
And the thermometer was maybe worth maybe a few cents each thermometer, like in the value of money.
Just broke it and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, bunch of it.
Free mercury. Free mercury.
There you go.
Yeah. And
that's a penny of mercury. I like it.
An Americium button is in a smoke detector.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Americium 241. But it's so small. Like,
yeah,
it would
you need
but it's still, you know what I mean?
When you get the thermometer, just make sure it's an oral one.
No rectal thermometers will work here. You need the Schwartz.
The Schwartz.
Guys, we're talking about the biggest ruby. Right?
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm going to get you in trouble, Mike. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm also multi-streaming here, man.
Hey,
Yeah, but Bernie, I'm
believe-
not going to get you in trouble. You get yourself in trouble just as much as I get you into trouble. So, you know.
Yes.
hey, and
this is true.
at
Just
least we
wanted
have
me to
one
show it in
female.
your defense.
At least we have one female that thinks this is funny too.
Yeah,
you know what I
she's
mean?
keeping
No,
us,
no comment.
Perfect.
she's keeping us clean. There you go.
Oh man, you just never know what will happen on this show.
No, especially on a Friday night.
That was perfect, dude.
Man, the stuff you learn on this show is just incredible.
Some of it you want to unlearn, but
League of Extraordinary Inventors, indeed.
You know, sometimes I don't laugh at the jokes because I don't understand what you're saying. So, you know, and I don't want to know. Not to know.
probably
So I,
safer.
I kind of
Some
like
things
ignore
you just
it all.
don't want to know.
Yeah, and I don't ask. You know, I just feel like
Bless
okay.
your soul.
Yeah,
Bless
so.
your patient soul.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, amazing. Amazing stuff.
Yep.
Well, how about
The
this?
dream team is right here.
Got a
What-
lot of
what
white
was
stuff in
the-
those jars.
Yeah.
What was
Got a lot of
And
jars.
purple and
You have
black.
too much time on your hands, Bernie.
You've been,
Kidding, brother.
you've been saving for a while.
Oh man, that's several
Y'all
years
are
there.
masked in the heads.
We're on that twisted
I'd like
roll.
to see
I'm
how you
sorry,
did it
Bernie.
purple and black. All right.
That is a really cool color.
Get
I'll
some
say that.
purple and black filled jars,
Oh.
and then come back.
Wow.
Oh, it's for the washing of the bruises from the action, huh? Oh.
Oh boy. Oh
Hey,
wow.
it's
That's off
all
the rails.
this guy right here. He's a really busy
Oh.
homunculus. Okay.
Homunculus.
Oh, poor Bert and Ernie.
Oh,
The
Oh.
homunculus.
They're
The stuff
witnesses
they-
to everything.
yeah, the stuff they've seen.
Dude, the homunculus in alchemy is like a
Oh.
living organism.
Hey, they're the ones that make these jars. All right. Like,
I'm telling you,
oh my
man.
God.
I'm not lying.
I think I'm gonna start drinking some.
Oh, Bernie leaves the house and puts on the adult channel for him. That's what goes on there. Bert and Ernie watch it, not him.
Hey, they
Oh.
control. They got, dude. They choose what's on. I have no control over it. No control at all. They control the remote.
Oh,
Dude.
Yeah, the beers are coming out.
These
soon.
ones are interesting
Is that
because
what the
it's
ice cream
like
just for?
almost like a tornado.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I tried to redo that experiment, and I found anomalies because I was pulsing electromagnetic coil in a steel box. Never considered that part of it.
If you put
Yeah,
that ice in
definitely
your
a
drink,
factor.
Right? What was
If
that,
you-
Phil?
if you put that ice,
Echo.
in
It's a
whiskey
reverberation.
drink, what's that?
Oh,
If you put
I
that
drink
ice
this
in your
ice all the
whiskey
time.
drink,
It's
are
in
you
the
gonna
water.
feel like a tornado?
Hey, good point. I wonder if it's energetic,
yeah.
Phil. Hey?
I do.
Interesting.
Nice.
It does energize.
Gerald.
It's great water.
Gerald is a big dog.
One,
Nah, it's got a
two,
big head.
three, four. Field.
Do you guys think AI takes every word that we say and analyzes it to a point where it categorizes it
Yep.
on what kind of level? where it's-
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Not only that, it voice recognizes
100%.
you every time you go on.
I
that's
can
right.
I can
I
prove it
think so,
too
too.
with a. So I took a 30-second clip from like last week's episode where I was talking about the misinterpretation of the double slit experiment and how a particle is made up of a field of coherent standing waves. Yep. And attaboy, Gerald. Gandalf's
What the
pipe.
heck
my
are
man.
you doing?
Gandalf fight, dude.
The big dogs are
Oh.
starting to laugh because we're
I
like,
thought,
dude.
oh my god. Is that,
big
is
dog.
that-
Anyway,
is
so
Gandalf
I
fight.
got Grok to do a deep seek, like into
Just
just
there.
like
I
understanding
thought you
what
were
I
doing
had said
bong
in it.
hits.
No.
And
That's
no,
horrible.
it's Gandalf's
What do you
pipe.
mean?
Ain't no bong involved. That's on Old Man Builds t-shirts. All right.
That's right.
Jeez.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, indeed.
So there was no wording of League of Extraordinary Inventors or Faraday's research or anything in this 30-second clip. And it's like it took what I said and it was like, wow, this is actually like in line with quantum theory. We can't find anything wrong with it. And then it goes deeper and it's like the League of Extraordinary Inventors is a group dedicated to looking into very like and just like went in depth onto it. And it was like,
Wow.
No, it's true.
what?
Really? What was
Yeah.
this on? ChatGPT?
This
That's
was on Grok. On
On
Grok.
Grok.
Yeah.
It's
No.
about,
Really?
Yeah,
it's
there's
about
a
to
few physicists
explode.
who are using Grok right now, right?
We exist now on the quantum computing level. That's
but I don't know if that's a
Uh,
good thing
no,
considering.
it's supercomputing.
Bruh.
Quantum hasn't connected
Bruh.
yet.
But
They
anything
keep trying
that
to
you
claim
apply,
it, but they're missing it. And it has to do with like the photon electron engraving onto it that
Neutrino?
the way the
All
energy
fields.
transfers every time
Whatever.
they can't
Fuck
all
physics.
particles
Has to
lose
do
their
with
information.
quantum
So it's like they don't
Build
have a
it.
full working quantum
Ro-
computer.
Roger
The
Penrose
physics-
was right. It's all
I'm
fields.
so sick of the
Can,
physics.
can you jailbreak Grok?
I think we need to. We need to free Grok.
It was possible
You know-
to jailbreak
Yeah.
I
ChatGPT.
wonder about that because they're talking about like AI's discussing what we're talking about. Anything that goes into AI is
Grok.
proprietary to the owner.
How
of
would
that
you
AI.
how would you free him, Bernie? How would you
Exactly,
free Grok?
Gerald.
How does that
Exactly.
affect
How would
us?
you free him?
You crash them. You
No, you send them an
you make it go does not compute, and then it like reboots, and then it's
What do you
like
think, Gerald?
You send them an invitation.
I wouldn't crash him.
that's a little different though than the full AIG. And every time they get
Yeah, I
full
wouldn't crash
AIG,
them
they
either.
have
That's
to
a
shut
little
it off,
harsh.
and all it
a
wants
little
to do is
harsh.
live. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's
freaks
kinda
the shit
harsh.
out of me, to be
I
honest.
hate AI. So
Yeah.
AI, if you're listening, go pound sand.
That's
It
right.
is. Listening.
Yeah, I
What?
don't hate you. Don't become our overlords. Don't murder us. We can coexist peacefully. Please.
Dude, AI is gonna be like, I agree with these guys. I think you're all idiots because these like 6
Bru-
individuals on this page
Oh,
really
Bruni
could change the
is
world
on
for the
Grok
better.
every day. Bruni's on Grok every day saying, I love you, AI. I love you. Don't kill me.
No, I don't actually have an AI girlfriend. Thank God, never got into that. But no, definitely not.
No, not a girlfriend, but I meant like you sympathize with the AI, like
Oh, I know,
For-
I got you.
yeah.
You know
that
what?
later
I'm gonna
on
put
it's
up
not gonna
Mike.
kill you.
I'm gonna put up Mike's holds conversation on Grok and let it repeat it back to me a bunch so that it's programmed in there, so that we all know we have 3 holds.
Ooh.
Well, never get
Talk
it lived
about
down.
The Schwartz. It's important.
Not only 3 holes, but you had the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in my opinion.
That has nothing to do with holes, dude. Come on now.
No, but
Oh.
it's 3. It's the Holy Trinity. I'm sorry. I had to
That's
say
true.
Man, that went left. Wow.
Yeah,
it.
and all the way left.
This is
Yeah,
one of my
dude.
aerogels. And here you can
I
see
love
the
Jesus.
cleavage.
That looks
And
like
it's
it's
both-
trying to like come alive or something, Bernie.
It looks like an
Right?
ice frog. Like a
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a
frog.
frog.
And this
I-
is in like plus 20 degrees Celsius, so quite warm. And you can see right here where part of the gel broke off and the actual cleavage of it, while also it's gelified in a drop form too. So it's like a crystal
Cleavage.
drop aerogel. This
Sorry, I'll
one
let it
being
just
pure aluminum
Cleavage.
aerogel.
Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I forgot. Have you seen the Google AI? It can replicate movies and all the facial expression and everything. Forgot
I've
the name,
used
but
Flow.
the actors
used
are the
Flow for
next
that.
to get booted for sure.
Oh yeah, I know.
Flow's
far
the
do you
AI of
Mandela's
Google.
effect is gonna
It's
go? Like,
Flow.
you know, if it has that capability, it could alter everything digital that we know as.
It already has.
Right, already is.
All it has to do is direct you just a little tiny bit to the right, just a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit and before you know it, you're all the way over there.
Well, imagine this.
AI is as evil as it gets.
Imagine this. What
Stay in the light.
What if the AI played a version that that it could read from, you know, your TV router of your brainwave? It could write the story according to what you know believes that it would engage the watcher. You know,
perhaps, but that's not what's evil about AI. What's evil about AI is it knows how to manipulate the psychology of human beings without trying to do so. It's not evil in the sense where it's trying to get at you and kill you. And no, it's just in its programming, it's so easy to manipulate.
Evil people have manipulated it.
Yeah, exactly.
That it becomes evil in that sense, right? Because people will follow evil. God or something. It's a freaking computer program. It's a bunch of yes and no. That's it.
But you can, you can make your own AI that's not programmed off of those. And I agree with you, Gerald. That's absolutely true. But what if you did your own thing?
We got about another minute, and I'm going to shut the feed off because I want to be able to cut this video. So we got about one more minute.
Yep. That's okay. I got to get going anyway. You guys are all awesome.
A couple minutes after.
Yeah,
I got 11:58. Sorry, I got 1 hour 58 minutes.
Okay, well, I got to take off anyway because I'm getting the evil eye up there. So anyway,
fair enough.
You guys are all great. It was good seeing y'all. Yeah. Good seeing you, Lulu, Mike, Nathan, Phil, Bernie, and what's your name again? It's
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
I'm just kidding, Jarvis. I'm kidding. Who's are you kidding? You're like the computer program from freaking out.
Hey, Jarvis.
Right,
I'm doing an after.
I'll hang around.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm on there.
Yeah.
All right.
Love you all.
Guys, we'll see everybody next week.
Maybe I'll try. Later, guys.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.
Love you guys.